So I've had some questions lately asked me, what detector do you prefer swinging? The Deus 2 or the Legend? Well, it's really a toss up. Different spots require different detectors. I'm going to show you the tulips are out, give you some hope for you guys who are tucked away in your snowbound cottages out in the middle of nowhere. Spring is on the way. Beautiful flowers coming up. Right. Just give you guys some hope. Spring is around the corner. Those sunny days are upon us. What detector would I rather swing in the iron? Just give me the Deus machine. What detector would I prefer on the beach? Just give me the Deus. What detector would I prefer in the curb strips? Is the Legend. What detector would I prefer in the tot lots? The Deus 1 HF coil, elliptical coil, by far. Nothing can compare to the Deus 1 in the tot lots, man. Straight up. Super simple, easy machine to operate in relic dumps or in the park. In the park, Deus 1 is amazing. HF coils are hot rods, man. Simple program, hot program, no need to dial it in, right? Just turn it on and go, man. Ground balance and go. But with these newer machines, you really have to dial them in a little bit, trying to figure out what frequency is going to work and what settings are going to work. And with the Deus 2, I realized that, through a lot of hours of field testing that machine, I've gotten the most targets and I've had the least amount of struggles in the mono frequency program. And I knew that to begin with. I knew that before the Deus 2 even got to me, right? I knew that the mono frequency program was going to be a hot rod. I told you guys that to start with. And even with the Legend, right? 15 kilohertz is working really good in my soil. It's working really good with that little 6-inch coil on it, right? Multi-frequency is still a little bit unstable. Same thing with the Deus 2, really unstable in the multi-frequencies. And with the Deus 2, it makes it even harder to understand that machine because the programs are frequency specific. So to really change frequencies, period, you have to be in mono frequency, and the mono frequency has different settings that the multi frequency does not have. But I've some programs or some frequencies on the Deus 2 struggle around concrete, or they struggle in EMI. So you just need to dial it in a little bit there. And with the Deus 2, it can pretty much go anywhere with the number 6 and number 5 and number 4 versions of the Deus 2. With the new Deus 2 version, the version 6, the last couple updates, not really been performing for me very well. I've been very frustrated with it, and that's why I really haven't swung it a lot in the last few weeks. But of course, I've had the Legend too. The Legend is just freaking awesome, man. It took me just a couple days to learn what's going to work in different places. I hunt every day. I haven't been out detecting today because I'm waiting for my batteries on my GoPro to charge up. And I was communicating with XP for a day there and kind of messed my sleeping patterns up there for my sleeping schedule up. So I'm waking up late. And, because they're all on the other side of the globe. There's a big difference in time zones there, right? So I've been communicating with XP, and big things are on the way. So they're going to figure it out. They actually have figured it out, but they're still testing it. But all the problems arise once you start updating machines, right? Different things happened out in the real world than bench tests, because they have quite a few bench tests at these manufacturers that they perform on it, but you really can't replicate the real world. There's just so many variables in metal detectors. You can't really replicate the real world. And so I put the Deus 2 on the shelf for a little while there. I'm still doing tests on it. I have a bench test room upstairs with lots of detectors, lots of coils. And I test it, still a little bit. But it struggles in the EMI, the Deus 2 does struggle on the EMI. It's a really sparky machine. What they have that machine geared towards is going deep, and it does very well on depth. But in trash, or in modern trash, I've always really struggled quite a bit with it in modern trash. I don't know if you guys have run Deuses before, but Deus 1 and Deus 2, if you try to run it 2, 3, 4, 5 tone in modern trash, you're just going to be running circles around yourself, digging up junk, right? Try to use pitch tones in a tot lot, not going to happen. Sure, you might find a few good targets, but once you get around that iron, pitch tones is not going to work. It's a completely different beast. Tot lots have those big iron pipes, and they're hard to get around with a lot of machines. You got to learn how to dial it in. The Deus 1 is ultimate in tot lots, man. The Deus 2, I've always struggled with it. And you see that in my videos. You haven't really seen me a lot with the Deus 2 in the tot lots, because I just struggle with it a lot. Nothing can really compare to the Deus 1 in tot lots. If you swung a Deus 1 and you have run in tot lots or modern trash, and then you go to the Deus 2, you will understand what I'm talking about, right? Just completely different beast. The Deus 2 is not the Deus 1, period. But with this version 7, it's going to be awesome. I can't really tell you what's going to be happening with XP Deus 2, but the engineers have it good. With the Nocta Legend, I also have some inside information, and I'm going to tell you, the Nocta Legend does not perform very well on open air bench tests. On most of the tests, comparing it to the Deus 1 and Deus 2 and Equinox, it just doesn't compare. But once I get it out in iron, it just performs completely different. Just has amazed me, right? It's just not logical how this thing is performing in iron. It's just a beast. It's a beast, right? I haven't really had any problems in iron with the Deus 1. I haven't had really many problems in the iron with the Nocta Legend either, right? They're really, really awesome in the iron. But with the Equinox, I've struggled in the iron, man. The Equinox doesn't like the big iron, doesn't like the nails next to coil. Neither does a Legend. But when you get that Legend in the iron, it just does something different, man. It's hard to explain it. It's hard to explain what it does in the iron. And you can pick those targets out. You have to drop it, the tone break down quite a bit, down to 7. That's pretty much what I like it at. 7 in the iron, 8 or 9 or 10, 11 in the trash, in the modern trash. It's not crackling on the foil so much, so it's not hitting on the foil. But they're two different areas, right? Iron, bed of iron nails is completely different from a bed of foil, right? You have to set up your detector different. What detector do I really prefer to swing around as a general purpose machine? Just all around machine? Probably the Deus 1, because I have a bunch of different coils for it, right? With the Legend, I have an 11-inch coil and I have a 6-inch coil. Not really an in-between coil there. With the Deus 1, I have 4 different coils. I have the 11-inch, the 9-inch HF, the 9-inch X35, and the 5x9 elliptical HF coil. With the Equinox, I don't really have a coil that's going to work because both of them are broken, right? And the Legend is just really performing a lot better in the iron than the Equinox ever could. A lot of people might want to argue that one, but they haven't swung a Legend yet. They just have no idea, right? All those naysayers are the ones who haven't swung a Legend yet. They're the ones who are worrying because, when you start having your machine break, give it a couple more times, their Equinox is breaking on them. They're going to wake up. They're going to try a Legend out for a little while. They're not really going to see much difference in performance of it, just in general, take it to the beach, the Equinox will do a lot better right now. Once that new update comes out for the Legend, Who knows? They might not be able to figure that beach thing out, but they might. With the Legend in iron, it just does something different, right? It does something different with EMI too. It's a really stable machine running at hot, full gain. With the 11-inch coil on the Legend, you can't run it really full gain. Maybe if you're out in an open field, you can run it full gain, but with the Equinox, you can't run it full gain. You just can't. It becomes too unstable. When you get an EMI, it's completely different. They just perform different, all around. Which one would I prefer swinging, the Legend or the Equinox? I mean, that's, you know what I'm gonna say, right? I'm gonna prefer the Legend over the Equinox all day long because it just won't break, right? There's a durability issue with the Equinox. Don't let anybody tell you different. Look how many videos on the Equinox are out there showing the crappy build quality of that machine. It performs very well. I mean, very, very well. I mean, it hits targets that other machines won't. But, are you going to really have to, how long are you going to be able to swing that machine around before it starts breaking on you? I have thousands and thousands of hours on XP machine, XP 1. Never had any failure. Actually, I did have one battery failure, but I use my detector every day, for a lot of hours a day. And I've never broken any parts on, never had a mechanical failure on the Nokia machines. I have thousands of hours. I'm Amphibio, the Racer, the Legend, the Impact, the Simplex. Never had any issues with durability there. But you have to take detectors to different spots. You have to dial them in. Some detectors will struggle in some situations, and some will not. There's no detector out there that's going to beat them all in every different place. Probably not going to happen in my lifetime. So I'm going to be swinging it around since the good weather's here and all the flowers are coming up. And I'm going to put the Legend away for 3 or 4 days here. And swing around maybe my 5900 Di or something, maybe my 6000 or one of my MXTs, or I don't think I'm going to be swinging my MX Sport, that's for sure. My Amphibio, I'm not going to be swinging around. It's too heavy, right? I don't want to be swinging around heavy machines. Since it's not raining out, I'll be swinging around some non-waterproof older machines. Go back to the retro, maybe a Tesoro. My Tesoros are way back in my closet. I have probably 30 detectors in my closet that I haven't even looked at in years, man. And plus I have a whole big pile of detectors in front of my closet that I haven't swung around. I'm in a big pile. I probably have 20 coils just sitting out there in the open. And I do have some that I can't really show you guys, some coils that I've been testing in my testing room, in my metal detecting room. But I will be getting my older detectors out here and probably swing around for a couple days. Cause nice weather, right? Ground's starting to harden up a little bit, so it's not so muddy. So, what detector do I prefer to swing around? The one that's the most fun, right? The one that's the most gonna perform good, and the one that's not gonna break on me, right? I don't want detectors that are just gonna break and fall apart on me. And my Tesoros, really, they're not really very durable machines. I'm hard on my machines, and I hunt in the rain a lot, and the Tesoros are just not waterproof machines. A lot of people say, oh, my machine's better than yours, or I'm a better metal detector than you, or I know how to dial this machine in better than you. Yeah, that might be the fact, but I'm not going to say one metal detector is better than the other. It's kind of irrelevant to this hobby, right? As long as we have fun, and I just want to have fun, take a break from testing machines. I want to go back to the old school analog machines for a couple days there, take a break. I have In the last 365 days, I've had only 3 days that I've not posted a video. My numbers are up, my subscriber count's up. Just in the last few weeks, I have surpassed the 1 million minute mark for the last 28 days. And, you know, it seems like just a few months ago, I was saying that I had 3,000 subscribers. Well, I've gotten 1,000 subscribers in the last couple months, and I've gotten 1.5 million views now. That was a couple months ago when I said I had 1 million views, and I broke that 100. Subscribers really is not what I look at. Views is not what I look at. I look at the amount of hours, and in the last 30 days, I've gotten over 1 million minutes. Over 1 million minutes of viewing. That's really what I look at. It's not about the views. It's really not about the hours. I just want to show you guys the truth and realities of metal detecting in all aspects. I'm always learning. Every day when I'm out in the curb strips or the field or the parks or the top lots or in the rain, I'm learning something new. That's why I have my comments enabled, so I can learn more. And I don't delete comments. I usually don't hide people's comments. I'll hide the spam and the spammers. The trollers, I shouldn't really call them trollers. They're just people who are closed-minded. People who are in a box, with their one detector, and they think they have the best detector on earth. There's not a best detector out there, man. Right? If you're closed-minded, that gets you less targets, and that makes it less fun for you and everyone else, right? I don't leave nasty comments on anybody else's channel. I don't give a thumbs down on anybody else's channel. Everybody has different abilities, and everybody has different soils. Everybody has different soil conditions. Everybody has different things they're going for. I understand that, right? I'm not going to engage into any arguments. If I wanted to show a person proof, I just show them on video, right? There's no denying videos, man. Live dig videos is where it's at. But I will be swinging my older machines here. Show you guys that the older machines perform just fine, right? Just fine. We had lots of fun back then, and we're having lots of fun now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.